I want to start off by giving all praises and honor and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahushai, Ba'ashim, Makakadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and to the Akim out here that's pushing this word. This is the brother Yakulam from the GMS Boston camp, and out of Juan Ratazad through the Spirit. This video is edifying. I want to speak on an article that I seen on RT News, and it just goes to show Job 9:24 that the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. You know, we have wicked rulers, which is these so-called white people, which are the biblical Edomites, that are descendants of Esau, which was Jacob's brother. And it says 5 facts confirming just how incredibly wealthy the world's richest families are. And it says, ever wonder how rich the richest families are? Like how many planes they could purchase every hour? Then look no further, because the latest report listing the world's wealthiest dynasties is enough to turn your capitalist. Now, I'm going to go right down to just the points. Number 1, the 25 wealthiest dynasties on the planet control about USD 1.4 trillion, up to 250 billion% from last year. Now, you got to understand with these figures, Esau is not being truthful. Brothers in the know that those who run the world are the banking families, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the JP Morgans, the Bloombergs, and what they consider wealth is gold. And they have a lot of the gold, which is really going to be, which is held up for Jake out of Ron or part of the 144,000, because they're just storing it for us. That's going to be given back to us, according to scripture. But when we read this is talking about their fiat paper. But these people are very, very wealthy on this side. And just to show that, the richest so-called dynasty on the covered Bloomberg list is the family behind the quintessential American experience, Walmart. Yes, the Walton family gained the top spot by reportedly earning a mind-boggling $70,000 per minute. Mind you, the average American, Jake or heathen, they don't even make that. So $70,000 a minute, $4 million per hour, $100 million per day. And like I said, these Edomites, the whole point with them was, if you look at history, not only did they hid their true biblical nationality, they hid the wealthy families. You'll never see the Rothschilds on this. You'll never see JP Morgan on this list. You'll never even see Rockefeller on this. Why? Because they own the people who make this list. And they don't want to be known. And they're the elites of this society, the true wealth. So what we see right here is bottom feeders, and they're still paid to what most people call rich. But the one that really stood out is how, they pay their employees, the people at Walmart. They make $100 million per day, but yet they pay an hourly rate of $14.26, which translates to less than $30,000 per year, on the equivalent of about 25 seconds of Walton work. So it just goes to show, that goes into the usury and, the unrighteous decrees with all these laws. And my employer, my old employer, he just told me now that starting in October, that employees have to pay personal tax, if you have a baby or certain stuff like that. And I'm like, damn, it's getting out of control, and that's why I said from Isaiah 10:1, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and that write grievous which they have prescribed. And that's wicked. You got all these laws. You got to pay health insurance. Even if you get sick, you got to pay that Salakia brothers, you got to pay your co-payment, or with your car insurance, which is a scam. You get into an accident, you've been clean 10 years, never got into an accident. You get in one low fender bumper and they want you to pay a deductible. But where's all that money going? And it goes to show you it's an unrighteous decree, because you got these people making $30,000 per year and they got to pay all these unrighteous decrees. Rent's going up. The cost of living is going up, but people's pay is not going up. And as you can see from this, they Walmart could afford that. They make $70,000 per minute. $30,000 a year is what they're paying somebody. So really think about that. Almost, let's say 35 seconds, they're able to pay an employee's yearly income, and that's crazy. That's why, Job 9:24 says the earth is given unto the hands of the wicked, because that's just wicked. Not only are they doing it to Jake, they're doing it to their own people. These elites, they don't care about their own people. That's why we call these damn devils, who are biblical Edomites, you're two-time losers. You losing in this society, and you're going to lose in the next kingdom, because you're going to be in slavery. Now, I want to just jump down to one more, the Mars family. The ones responsible for establishing snacks like Snickers, M&Ms, and Milky Way came in at a lackluster number 2. They're saying lackluster, like a net worth of 126 billion isn't nothing. And it's nothing to us. It's riches on this side, but like I said, that's not true wealth. But it says, you know, they have enough to buy a couple 100 billion chocolate bars or feed 17 Americans 3 meals a day for a year. And you got to ask yourself, look at this place. People are starving. Homelessness is at an all-time high. And you got the damn Mars family responsible for candy that could feed 17 million Americans 3 meals a day for a year, but they don't. Why? Because the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. That's why we can't wait for this place to go. And like I said before, we don't look at this as true treasure, because according to Matthew 6:19, it says, lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doeth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. And now people would say, well, ain't no thieves breaking into their stuff. Their thieves is the banks. Their thieves is those unrighteous decrees. Those thieves are those taxes. Everybody feels it. That's why the people who are the main players, they ain't on this list. Why? Because they control all of that. And it just goes to show we put our treasures in heaven. Artamartha were part of that number, because it says, but lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doeth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. And that's why, our treasure is on the kingdom of heaven. That's why brothers is out here on the highways and byways doing this work, edifying, trying to live, follow the law, statutes, and commandments to our best ability, because we're faith-based Israelites. But we don't put our treasures, we ain't trying to build up. Jake right now is like, yo, we need to come together. The marathon continues, all because of two dirt nigga, was telling Jake stuff that should be common sense, man. Stop. Stop killing your brother. But even that's a contradiction. You can't talk positive and still be playing in the streets. That's a big contradiction. But the point being is, we lay up for ourselves treasures in heaven. We don't give a fuck about this word, this fiat paper, and all that's going to be for naught once they impose that RIFD microchip. And that's how they're going to get a lot of people. They're going to want to keep that wealth, where they're going to take that chip. It's going to be sent over. It's going to be, as they say, transferred over. And what poor? Jake is poor. That's why the scripture says, in Micah 2 and 10, depart, for this is not our rest. And this isn't our rest. Between the unrighteous decrees and all this wickedness, the only thing we're passing on to our children is debt. Even if you got a little bit of money, this guy told me, I got 50,000 in the bank. That ain't no money, and he's right. That's not true wealth. It's fiat paper. It's all gonna be for naught soon. We may be poor in Esau's kingdom's wealth, but we're rich in spirit. Like according to Matthew 5:3, blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. These people ain't meek, but yet they'll tell you that, who the world really calls God and Jesus, which is Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, they're so-called white people. Why would our creator and his son be so-called white people when they don't fit the characteristics? They're freaking wicked. If you look at like the book of Tobit or other prophets, for example, I bring up Tobit because when he thought he was dying, he told his son, listen, man, give alms. Plenty of places in the scriptures it tells you where it says give alms. Why? Because First Peter 4:8 says, and above all things have fervent charity among yourselves, for charity shall cover the multitude of sins. These people, they don't do that. When they give charities to cancer, they're actually putting money back into their other banking buddies, because they know, listen, man, if they would have found a cure, they would have been had one. But no, it's an easy way to take money. It's our usury, and that's the whole point of this, where these people aren't meek. That's why they won't and inherit the earth, because going back into Matthew 5:3, it says, "Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled." Because that's what we do. We thirst after righteousness. We don't thirst after no green fiat papers. Look at these devils. Live it up. This is your kingdom. We can't wait for the so-called white man to be taken out of power, man. Brothers got to get up 5 a.m., work. Brothers is young. Speak for myself. 34, back hurts. Just working day in and day out. Bills, like it's just tough, man. It's never gonna meet. Ends are never gonna meet. And we don't give a fuck, because we already know Esau don't give a fuck about us. It's just funny. Esau don't give a fuck about his own people. You see this guy right here saying the Waltons are robbing America. He could be Jake. He could be an Edomite. Most likely he's an Edomite. But the point being is, even Edomites are complaining about other Edomites. Why? Because Esau doesn't give a fuck about his own people. And that's the thing. And it's like, when you really stare at this, it's just sad. A net worth of, 126 billion, you could feed 17 million Americans 3 meals a day. There's people starving and dying. But hey, listen, that's the curses. This is the way the Lord set it up, because the Lord ruleth in the kingdom of man. But to jump back in Torah real quick, the beautiful thing about that was he was telling his son Tobias, give alms when you can. If you see, especially the scripture says, love thy neighbor, talking about thy fellow Israelite. He was telling his son, give the shirt off your back, give feed when you can, help your other brother. And then when you even go into the book of Maccabees, you had the king of Jerusalem, when the other heathen king came to visit, and he said, he came to take the treasure. He told him, this is for the widows and fatherless children, meaning our people looked out for each other. And we can't do that in a society. And we can't do it too because of the curses. That's why we look for that new heaven where all of Jake, where I'm going to be well off. Just like when Queen Sheba came to visit King Solomon, she thought his servant was him because he was decked out. The whole point is he was living good. It hurts seeing your fellow brother starving, but listen, man, that's why the scripture said the earth is given into the hands of the wicked, and we can't wait for these devils to go down. So this is just a quick thing on this article. I know brothers are out here struggling, but we're down, but we ain't beat down. And the only place we can go now is up. Nardwar Antazar, brothers is part of that. 144,000, 12,000 from each tribe, these so-called natives, Latins, and natives, Latins, and so-called Negroes. So I want to give all praises unto Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and to the Ark in my head that's pushing this word. Shalom.